Welcome to Olivia's Blooms. If you are new to my channel, I'm gardening in Charlottesville, Virginia, Zone 7B. I'm a home gardener who loves growing my own cut flowers and home decor with a focus on sustainable, regenerative, and eco-friendly practices. But most importantly, I'm here to support, share with, and learn from other gardeners, so I hope you will join me in growing this amazing gardening community. Hey guys, welcome back to Olivia's Blooms. I am bursting with excitement to share with you guys some news. After lots of thinking and planning, I've decided to just go for it and start a small business this year selling my cut flowers on the side. And I wanted to make this video to tell you guys all about it, why I'm doing it, what my business plan is, and I want to share this journey with you guys because I'm really going to be testing out, can I sell cut flowers as a side business while working full-time with 3 children and make it profitable enough to be worth my time? So let me tell you a little bit more about why I want to do this. So it is not just about making money for me, although I do feel like I need to make a certain amount of money for this to be worth my time. But you guys, if you watch my channel, you already know that I'm obsessed with growing flowers. It just makes me happy. I love doing it. I love sharing them. Sharing flowers with other people makes me happy. But also what's important to me is I want to provide a local source of locally grown and eco-consciously grown cut flowers for my community to just help reduce in some way the amount of flowers that might be shipped into the United States. And again, this is a judgment-free zone. No judgment on anyone who uses imported flowers or sells imported flowers. This is just meant to give access to people that want to take some of those extra steps in their lives to be a little more eco-conscious. And we don't really have a lot of opportunity for that here. So that's kind of why I wanted to start this. Now, I also want to make some money too. I think at a minimum, it will be nice to save up for my dream greenhouse that I want to put in my backyard. But who knows, maybe it'll even grow into something more or something that someday my kids might want to be a part of or take over. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit more about my business plan, and I'm not going to get into too many details about the business planning and all of the numbers, and I am certainly not qualified or trying to give business advice, but I did want to share what my plans are, how much I'm going to invest, how much I think I might be able to grow to in a few years, so that if you're thinking about doing this on the side, you can have an expectation of what it might take, and then you can come along with me to see, what did my expectations meet reality? How much did it actually take, and how much did I make this year? And I'm going to be sharing all of that information with you. And I found other videos like that, especially from Bear Flower Farm, really helpful. So what am I going to invest this year? I have decided to put away, and I've already set it aside, $5,000 that I've saved up to start my business. That number is very specific to me. I'm not saying that that's how much it would take, but the reason I came to 5,000 is I already have a lot of the supplies that I need to start the business. I already, for my own personal use, put a whole seed starting setup downstairs that I can grow thousands of seeds in. And I already have a lot of specialty cut flower bulbs and seeds. I'm gonna have to buy more after I did my crop planning. I figured out how much, but I have some supplies. What I'm gonna be investing that $5,000 in primarily is a cooler. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm doing this part-time, I'm gonna need that flexibility to be able to harvest stems as they open and put them away and be able to store them so that over time I can have enough once a week or twice a week to make bouquets and sell them. Also, because I'm not going to be growing on a large growing space, I need that flexibility as well. I can't just hope that on a certain day I'll have enough blooming. I've got to take every stem that's blooming and harvest it when it's ready. For my cooler, I've done a lot of research. I've decided to build a walk-in cooler using a CoolBot AC system. I estimate that it's going to cost me about $2,500 of the $5,000. I think it will probably cost me less, but I'm trying to be conservative in my estimates because I know unexpected costs often come in. So, and I'm gonna build that cooler. We'll see how it goes. I will definitely make a video about that so you guys can watch the process and see how easy or hard it was. And that money is also going to go towards a little bit of marketing, some more seeds, a little bit of bouquet supplies. I'm going to be using craft paper and twine, and I'm going to try and use a sticker that is compostable, because I really want my product to be eco-conscious, and I want it to be good for the environment as possible for a cut flower product. So that's what I'm planning on spending that money on. I'm sure there will be other supplies I need. I do have some netting and some posts and stakes, but I probably will have to buy some more of those. So I have about a $5,000 initial investment for this year. And my sales goal is going to be also $5,000. I'm not sure I'm going to get to that $5,000 this year. I think it might be half of that, and I'll be okay with that, but I figured it's good to set some sort of goal to reach for. So that's what I'm going to reach for, is making back my investment. And that's typical to break even or take a loss in the first year of a business. You have usually more costs initially, and that will help you in the long run. So we'll see if those numbers play out. And I'm okay if they don't come out to my expectations. I think that's just part of running a business. So how am I going to make that $5,000? Well, that goes into my pricing scheme and how many bouquets I want to sell a week. And so my goal again is to sell my bouquets around $20. We'll see if that's a reasonable price. I initially had planned to do about 12 stems for $20, but looking at the local market and what the grocery stores are selling stems for, I might have to up that to 15, depending on the type of flower that I am selling. I will be doing specialty cut flowers, so ranunculus, anemones, but there will be some filler too. So it'll be interesting to kind of test out the different pricing. And to get to that 5,000 number, I need to sell around, we have about 27 weeks in the growing season. 27, I gave myself a little buffer. It's more like 29 or 30, but those first few weeks I might not have a lot of flowers. So about 27 weeks, I'm shooting for about 10 bouquets on average a week, but we'll see if the demand is there and if I can grow that much. So to get to that 10 bouquets a week number, and if I want to shoot for 15 stems a bouquet, I'd like to be harvesting on average about 150 stems a week. I am hoping to, and I estimate that I will be spending around 20 hours a week on the side business. I'm spending a lot more right now in the winter getting it up and going, but once it's up and going and I'm harvesting, I'm thinking it'll be about 20 hours. And again, I'm hoping to track my labor hours as closely as I can to see if that's a reality. That will be important too if I want to eventually figure out how much I'm actually paying myself an hour, but I'm not going to worry about labor costs this year. I'm just going to focus on my end goal of making $5,000. I should add that that's $5,000 total in sales. That's not $5,000 in profit. But why are customers gonna want my bouquets? So I'm hoping to, and this is what I'm really excited about, is just provide something that feels extra special. I'm gonna be growing some really fun, unique, special ranunculus and flowers that you wouldn't necessarily find at the grocery store. Also, I want my bouquets to be a sensory and emotional experience. For me, a bouquet not only just visually looks beautiful when you see it in your house, but I also love when it smells wonderful. And even when you can touch it, you know, straw flowers are one of my favorite things when I see them in bouquets or status, just to rub my fingers over it. And that to me is part of what's so fun and nice about having flowers in your house. And so my goal will be to make every bouquet feel special and be a sensory type of experience. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm also wanting to acquire and grow some just special flowers, like from Floret Originals or from Bloma Flower Farm, or other really great US growers that are breeding some really cool things that you can't necessarily find in a mass market. And that way my customers will be getting something extra for that little bit of extra money that they're paying, in addition to it just being more eco-conscious and eco-friendly. So to get 150 stems on average a week, I did some crop planning, and that's going to be, I think, the biggest learning curve for me this year, in addition to pricing, is how many plants I really need to grow and how much space to get to that number. That number is not my long-term sales goal, but it's what I want to start with and try and reach for the next 1 to 3 years. And I also calculated how much growing space I have. And this is another part of why I'm sharing this that I hope will be interesting to some of the viewers. I live in a suburban home. I'm not on a farm, and I'm only going to dedicate about, I estimated it's going to be about 230 or so square feet to farming my actual flower crops. And then I'm also going to be growing flowers in our landscape. Now that was harder to estimate because it's a very uneven area, and it's got other mature and less mature plants in it. And so I'm gonna have to do a little bit of guessing how much plants I can fit into my yard in total. But my total lot size is only about ½ an acre, and I'm only using less than 1/4 of that. So I will have to grow if I want to get beyond that $5,000 number, but I want to see how much money and profit that I can squeeze out of this space initially. For those of you that are in similar circumstances, that love growing flowers, that don't necessarily need a yard and are okay using that space and are allowed to use that space to grow flowers, and can you make a profit off of it? Maybe not a huge profit, but is it something you'd be interested in doing? So I hope you guys will follow me along and see how this goes for me. Something that's really important to me, that was one of the first things I figured out, is who is my customer going to be? And to me, my ideal customer is someone in my local area who's eco-conscious. They don't have to be eco-conscious. There definitely could be people that buy my product who just love flowers or just want to support me while also enjoying flowers. But I think the eco-conscious customer is my target because that customer is likely, I'm assuming, going to be willing to pay a little bit more than grocery store prices, because I am not going to be able to price mine exactly at grocery store prices. I'm going to be close. But is willing to pay a little bit more for flowers that are locally grown and more eco-consciously grown and are not shipped in, but don't necessarily want to spend florist prices for their flowers they're going to have regularly. My customer also, I assume, obviously will love flowers, but either doesn't have the time or doesn't want to or doesn't know how to grow their own. I also, though, love and want to support people that grow their own flowers. That's part of why I started this channel. So there's room for all of us in this world. But that's kind of who I'm trying to sell these flowers to. And I'm gonna start with 2 products, maybe 3, but those 2 products are CSA Bouquet subscriptions, and those are gonna be either 4 to 6 weeks spring subscriptions, 4 to 6 weeks summer subscriptions, 8 weeks spring summer, or 10 weeks spring summer. I'm giving folks a little bit of a discount, so for the 4-week subscriptions, I am gonna target a $25 per bouquet price point. But if you go up to 6 weeks of bouquets, then they're $20 each. So the 4-week bouquet subscription is going to be $100, and the 6-week will be $120. That $20 price mark per bouquet stands if you buy the 8-week and the 10-week subscription. So you save a little bit more if you buy more bouquets. And those are gonna be my priority. I'm gonna make sure that those are the best bouquets, that those customers love them. And I'm going to find 2 locations for pickup, one north of here and one south of here. And I'm hoping to partner with local businesses so that I can help bring some foot traffic into their stores. It's not going to be a lot of foot traffic, at least at first, but offer them a free bouquet, some foot traffic, some promotion on my website in exchange for letting my customers come pick bouquets up. But another thing I'm going to offer is I live in an awesome community with lots of people, so I'm going to offer free delivery to the immediate surrounding areas in my community so that I can maybe bring them to a couple people's doors without too much of an inconvenience for me. I would love to offer free home delivery, but realistically with the time I'm going to be able to dedicate to the business, I'm not going to be able to do that at first, but we'll see how willing people are to go pick up their bouquets at a store once a week. Another consideration for my customer is someone who's familiar with what community shared agriculture is and is okay having to go pick up a bouquet at a location. So that's my first product, is CSA bouquet subscriptions. I'm going to be opening that up real soon. I just had to identify my other pickup location, and then hopefully I'll get those out in time for people to buy them for Valentine's Day. They'll be great Mother's Day gifts. I'm going to offer people a little card that they can give if they buy a bouquet subscription that just explains what it is. The other product I'm going to be offering is an a la carte bouquet, and that's if you have a special event or you want to give a really nice gift, you can order different sizes of bouquets and either come pick them up at my house or I'll deliver them depending on how much time I have. We'll have to see. And the pricing for that will be probably around $1 to $3 per stem, depending on what type of flower it is. Filler flower, I'll probably charge less than that per stem. Okay, so that's my plan this year, guys. I am so excited, if you can't tell. I'm gonna learn so much. I'm gonna be okay with not having as much success as I expect. And I hope that you guys who sell cut flowers share with me any tips or tricks that you've learned. I certainly will be sharing things I've learned with all of you. And for those of you that are not into cut flower businesses and that are just here to learn how to grow your own cut flowers or just watch someone grow cut flowers and arrange them, there's going to be tons and tons of that still, so don't worry. But I'm so excited to have you guys along with me. It makes me feel supported, and I hope you guys are as excited about this news as I am. Thank you.